Hello. Hey, welcome to Daylight Saving Time. You know, we had that last week. And there's no S in there. It's not Daylight Savings Time. It's Daylight Saving. So that gives us an S to use somewhere. You know what? I think I'll use it for Simplified. And it's also the appropriate time to talk about saving from PaperCut. You see what I did there? Put all that together. So not only do we have version 19 coming your way in April, but also new pricing. Tell you what, we're giving you a lot of time back to close your deals with this one, that's for sure. Jeff McWilliams is with me today. He'll be answering some of the chat and Q&A, so if you have any questions or anything, do please feel free. Everyone is on mute at the moment, so go ahead and put that in the chat section or in the Q&A section, and we will open it up for general chat and Q&A at the end of the session here today, too. So thanks for joining. Doc Balgi, I'm a subject matter expert for ACDI. Definitely excited to be able to share this info with you. I mean, this is our agenda, and like I say, we'll have time for questions at the end. So, you know what? Let's just get right to it. Before joining ACDI, I worked at a dealership, and I had to price out many PaperCut deals. As opposed to some of the other print management, it wasn't terrible. However, you still had to pay attention to what you were doing to make sure you added the right components and accounted for what PaperCut already included. Well, now it's going to be even easier as this new model is expected to make it easy for you to quote PaperCut in your deals. We're adapting things to meet your needs too, and more on that in a bit. And with all that said, the new pricing strategy is competitive while targeting opportunities for growth. You know, I need a drum roll here or something like that. PaperCut licensing changing. Here we go. So let's take a look at what's going on. At a high level, here's what's happening. First of all, today we have user and device pricing. New pricing, device-based pricing. There's no user pricing. Well, there is, but we'll get to that in just a moment. But for all practical purposes, device-based pricing. The cost for additional site servers is what's happening today. New pricing, site servers are now included. PUA was a calculation, and as a matter of fact, I didn't even really know what PUA was, so now we're going to call it M&S like everybody else. Simple SKU-based M&S pricing for you. We had 3 licensing types, and now there are only 2. And with the individual ancillary products, we have groupings of the ancillary products as well. So more on that as we get going. Let's take a look at this user-related licenses and options. Yeah, no more user pricing. And you asked for it. PaperCut delivers unlimited users on a base license. Should I repeat that? I mean, why not? It's fun. Unlimited users on a base license with advanced clients and desktop widgets, as many as you need all day long. Going forward, no more change orders from your customers, adding blocks of users. Let's see, wait, how many come with an education license? How many were with commercial? You remember the drill. Also allows your customers to scale up without interruption. No pop-ups to say, you've exceeded your license count, reduce your count, or buy some more. Site servers set to unlimited as well. I always loved explaining that. Well, let's see. You get one with a base license, so we need to add this many and then account for this much pro service. And in other words, we are not penalizing a company just because they want or need to scale up. The software is included. Where there were 3, now there are only 2. Commercial and education/government. What about hospitals? Well, if it's a nonprofit or a teaching hospital, then you can use the education government license. And all the extra things are consolidated to minimize the SKU count. I mean, I don't think you want 35 pages to look at just to price out a piece of software, do you? What are the licenses? Very easy. Users, site servers, advanced clients, all set to unlimited. MFD licenses will be by brand, so 2 brands, 2 SKUs. Don't worry, it's easy. And then there are the single function printers that have an embedded fast release license. Toshiba, HP, Lexmark, and Ricoh's all have this ability. Now, here's a real benefit for you on pricing, and it kind of looks confusing, but it really isn't. Here's what we have. There are 3 payment gateway groups. So anything in the same group are the same price, and each group has a difference in price. So if you need PayPal, you're going to order Group 1. Now, in reality, you're really going to click PayPal if you're ordering, but at any rate, they're based in groups. Just kind of want you to know how this works on the back end. You'll order Group 1, which includes all the others listed, so you can do them all. Seaboard needs a Group 3 license. All right? Easy enough there. Now, we will want to know the specifics in the order so we can prepare, but it really is just as easy as 1, 2, 3. I mean, now, here's something else to consider. You only need 1 license for compatible gateways. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say you need both PayPal and Authorize.net. Well, they're both a Group 1 type of license, and you just order 1 license, 1 Group 1 license, and it covers both. Again, you're going to tell us PayPal and Authorize.net. So fast release and BioStore, that's like 1 SKU. You'll tell us, which thing that you need there. Any of the terminals are all now consolidated. So you just have, a single SKU and then indicate which one that you need. Let's go through some of the FAQs on the pricing. How is this new device-based licensing different? Well, every standard device-based PaperCut MF license will now come with unlimited users. There are a couple of exceptions, one of which is the SMB Bundle, and we're going to talk more about that, but a maximum of 100 users, up to 5 embedded licenses. How does an existing customer upgrade to unlimited users? Well, for an existing customer, their license will be automatically upgraded to unlimited users when they make their next M&S or embedded device purchase. And if your customer is only in need of additional users, still has active M&S, maybe they just purchased, there's a nominal charge to upgrade to the unlimited user license. And we here at ACDI will be able to provide you with more information. Check out your RSM or RSS, and they'll provide all the details for you. Do hospitals qualify for government educational pricing? And kind of mentioned it before, but yes, if the customer has educational facilities and or they are a nonprofit status, then yep, they qualify for government education pricing. How about libraries? How does the new pricing impact library? Well, we've simplified the way library pricing works now too. Libraries are now priced per branch, with the option of adding embeddeds and relevant ancillaries if required. All library purchases will not have a limit on users. Is the SMB Bundle still available? Yes, great cost-effective option. Maximum of 5 embedded devices and 100 users. If that's your environment, that's enough for your setup, then you're good to go. And we encourage you to use this SMB Bundle. It will be less expensive than buying 5 device licenses and all that. So check that out. The SMB Bundle is still there, and we'll talk more about that in just a bit. Are user-based licenses available for purchase? Yes. User-based licenses are now called software licenses. Now, this only applies to licenses that do not currently require embeddeds. These are available for small, medium, and even large environments. So, easy enough, right? Not anything, earth-shattering here. It's pretty straightforward. Let's see how this is all configured now in PaperCut. When you're looking at, what licenses you need, let's look at the configuration models. When you need a quote for PaperCut, you're going to need to configure the license. So how many embedded licenses do you need? That's about it. You still need the minimum 1 year of M&S. And then for any additions, it's your Group 1, 2, or 3 payment gateway, connectors needed, and the optional job ticketing license. Now, this is probably the only thing that's been expanded, or the job ticketing license. There's a print room and a fab lab. Functionally, they're actually identical. It's really more of a way to market them. But there is now the new mini print room, just as it states. Mini print room, it's limited to 5 products, 3 workflows, and does not include cost estimation. Now, each of these has their own M&S cost, and we'll get to that in a moment or two. Device-based pricing. As mentioned, it is per manufacturer. And there are price breakpoints, as you can see here. This really simplifies the charging model and will be more in alignment with the hardware purchasing process too. So you can see the breakdowns that we have there per device. And this is each device has their own setup there. So you'll need to configure that for each device. I'll explain that. And I hope you caught me saying M&S. You know, for the longest time, PaperCut has referred to it as PUA. Honestly, I didn't even know what that was when I first started here, and I took somebody at PaperCut in my confidence that I knew wouldn't spill the beans on me. You know, I don't want to let my secret out. She understood. We had a good laugh, of course, and now I'm telling you all of you that I didn't know what that was, but you probably at some point went, you know, what? What's that? Well, anyway, now it's M&S and a flexible model with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 years available to match your proposed lease. No more magic calculations either, just straightforward pricing. All right, let's spell this out then. For new licenses for M&S, maintenance and support will start on the date of purchase. That doesn't change. It ends on the last day of the following month. You know, that gives you time to install, and then the customer still has a year, you know, with PaperCut. So look at the example on the screen there. The example is 1 year of M&S that's ordered on April 15th. The start date is April 15th. But the expiry date for that is the next month, May, at the end of the month, May 30th. Okay, you got it? So it starts, you know, on the month that you buy it, but it ends the following month, at the end of the month. Let's talk about renewals. If M&S is still active, the renewal will start from the current expiration date. And this is what's really cool. I love this. If M&S is expired, the start and end dates will now reset to the new order date. There's no penalty, no grace period. You know, usually most software companies, if you have lapsed on your extended warranty, your M&S, it goes back to when it ended. And yet sometimes, well, we even paid a penalty in the past. Now that doesn't exist. You're going to start from the date of purchase if M&S is already expired. Very cool stuff for M&S. Now, users. There still is a user-based software license. Now, I know there were times when I was presenting MF to a customer, they weren't ready to do embedded licenses and all that, but I talked to them about getting MF instead of NG just so that they're ready, and then they can add a device and they were good to go. So you can still do that, but we don't have to worry so much about, you know, the buckets of users. There are just 4 buckets in each of a commercial and education/government license. So you have no embedded licenses. As soon as you put an embedded, it's unlimited. So no embedded licenses, but the customer wants PaperCut. We're going to do a user-based license. For commercial, we can do up to 100, up to 400, up to 1,000, and then a custom build of over 1,000. Education/government, up to 500, up to 1,500, up to 5,000, and then a custom over 5,000. Libraries, just mentioned it, there's just a new SKU, easy for you to say, quoted per branch without embeds. So if an embed is needed, then you're going to quote the EDU/government pricing per branch that does require them. Now, here's kind of a graphic of what we're looking at. Let's take a new customer. I've got an education customer. They're going to buy 5 multifunctional devices on a 3-year contract, annual M&S plus, the annual M&S plus. That's the extra one where we do the installs, all that kind of stuff. So this is kind of what it looks like on the SKUs themselves. All right, so you've got one SKU for your devices. There's the 5 devices on one line. And then you've got your M&S on the second line. That's it. Unless you need card readers and all that. But if that's the basics, that's all you need. It looks kind of weird because you don't see the license for the software anymore. I know it threw me off there for just a moment. Now, I'm going to expand on this without a graphic just a bit. Let's say you've got 5 of one device and you're adding 5 of another device. You're going to have 2 different lines for your devices there. One device line of brand XYZ and another line of device ABC. Okay, so you split that out. So those breakdowns that you get on that are per manufacturer, not as a whole. Again, I'm going to cover that again in just a moment. Now, what about adding devices? if you're adding devices, they've already got PaperCut, and they come in and they want to add 10 multifunctionals. They've already got 5, so you're going to have a total then of 15 in the contract. And they have 14 months left on a 3-year contract. This was always really difficult to do in PaperCut because we only did yearly PUA. Well, now we do, yearly M&S with a monthly alignment that you can do. So check this out. We've got the 10 additional one-brand multifunctional devices, and they're getting the break for the 10 plus is what happens. So you've got the one line there. You've got one line for the 12-month support, the 1 year, but now we've got 2 extra months to keep in mind for the 14 months. So I've got a single line now for 2 months, so we can make that into a 14-month contract. Couldn't do that before, and so now easily done with the M&S pricing inside of PaperCut. Existing customers, this is what we're doing with them. An existing customer to transition to a new model, that will happen with a change order or an M&S renewal. In other words, they add a device to their system, or their M&S needs to be renewed. As soon as they do one of those 2 things, then they're going to be upgraded into the new model. If a customer only needs additional users and has active M&S, they can either purchase more M&S, or if really what they want or need is unlimited users, there's a nominal fee to upgrade. And while I can't discuss the pricing here, it is a nominal fee. It is not very much money, so you can propose that quite easily to your customers. If they have expired M&S, renew their M&S. A minimum is a 12-month renewal for that, and their license will then be set to unlimited users. And as I mentioned, it starts on that date of purchase now, too. Very, very cool. Very, very reasonable for PaperCut to do that with the M&S pricing. Now, let's take a look at what this looks like. As an example, so I've got some pricing differences here. Let's look at education and government. The scenario is they've got 15 multifunctionals, 3,750 users, 5-year contract. Our existing pricing, you can see the breakdowns there, comes out to be a little over $12,000. On the new pricing, I just have 2 SKUs. So I've got the multifunctional device licenses, I've got the M&S, and I've got a total that's just under $10,000. So that's about a 15 to 20% reduction on this scenario. Let's look at the commercial side. Scenario, 30 multifunctionals, 250 users, 4-year contract. Price it out today, it'll be about $15,000. Price it out with the new pricing plan, it's going to be about $17,000. So you're looking at an increase of about 10 to maybe 15%. So, that being said, is it fair to say government has 20% discount, education 20% discount, commercial 15% increase? No. Doesn't quite work that way. These are examples. There's a lot of variables here, the multifunctionals, the M&S support, and all that stuff. So, no, I don't want you going out there going, oh, education gets a break and commercial is raising prices. It doesn't work that way. I'm just trying to give an example of kind of what it would look like with some kind of generic pricing. Hopefully that makes sense. So SMB still exists. I want to really, talk about this because we want you, again, to use the correct license for your customers. SMB Bundle, this is commercial license. This is not government or education. Commercial license. They do have up to 100 users and no more than 5 multifunctional devices. This is a great plan for them to use if they're not going to change that scenario within the first 12 months. So they're not going to go over 100. They're not going to have more than 5. Use the SMB Bundle. It will work out in your favor. After the first 12 months, customer, if they want, they can add M&S. They'll go up to unlimited users or add a device and move to unlimited users at that point. So check it out. The SMB Bundle is still there, and definitely encourage you to use that. It will work out quite nicely for your customers. FAQs. How does the new pricing model calculate the cost of a license? Well, we looked at it, but let's discuss the 7-tier bulk pricing structure based on the number and brand of the embedded license. The 7 tiers: 1, 10, 25, 50, 100, 200, and 500. Let's look at this example down below. Please pay attention here. For example, if a license has 12 devices of one MFP brand and 64 devices of another MFP brand, the 12 devices will be priced out at Tier 2. Remember, that's a 10 plus, and you've got 12. The 64 devices are at Tier 4 for a 50 plus. Okay? So that's the example there. You've got two different SKUs for two different manufacturers. That's it. How does the new pricing model compare to the existing one? There are two license types, commercial and education/government, which does include nonprofit organizations. And each license has three billable components. You've got the embedded license, you've got the optional items, and then maintenance and support. Will users get notified when M&S is about to expire? How do they renew? Yep, when a license is about to or has expired, the administrator will be notified the next time they log into PaperCut, and then they can get in touch with you to kick off the same renewal process that is in place today. Is there a 10% penalty for not renewing or a minimum purchase? Nope, both of those have gone away too. M&S, just price up the license, and away you go. So, there we have it. No fooling. The price change happens April 1st, 2019. So there we have it. That's the new pricing that's in effect, and we'll go ahead and open it up for Q&A. Now, we'll take some Q&A here for a bit, and then for those of you that order directly from ACDI, we'll take a look at the new tool. Now, so some of you order from the manufacturer directly, or you have other ways that you're ordering PaperCut. If so, after Q&A, you're welcome to go, or if you have all your information, go ahead and slide out, get the rest of your day back. We'll take the Q&A now, and then after the Q&A, those of you that do order directly from ACDI, we'll show you the new tool. It's not even quite completely built, but I'm really excited to show you what we have on that. So again, that's really only for those of you that order directly from us. So at this point, let's see, Jeff is helping to monitor. You know what, Jeff, I'm going to unmute you here. There we go. So your mic is live, just want you to know. I'll see if you had any questions that came directly to you, and we'll open up chat or Q&A. Did you have anything at the moment?
Right now, everything's been handled. There were questions about M&S. There was also a request to get the PowerPoint as when this thing wraps up. So I just say that if you'd like to get a copy of it, reach out to your regional sales manager, whether inside or outside, and then make that request. I'll make sure they all have it in their hands when this concludes.
Excellent. I'm sure I shouldn't say, I'm pretty sure we're going to post a recording on this too. I am recording everything here too, so we'll probably go ahead and post that. Had a question here. Has M&S pricing gone up compared to current pricing? And actually it's gone down. In a lot of ways. It's real straightforward pricing, and hard to really get into the details of that, but actually it has gone down. It's more alignment with with other software. Let's put it that way. Commercial license includes advanced client billing for law office. Yes, there is no professional license anymore. That's a really key point there. And that also brings up the point that PaperCut is not just for education. Maybe you heard the legal webinar that we had last week. Also doing that again next week. Again, the legal webinar, technical. Casey's doing the sales one. And we're telling you, it's not just for education. So yeah, there's no professional license needed. So you just buy the commercial license and you have all of the advanced clients, as many as you need. Let's see. We are new to ACDI and PaperCut. Some of this information, can I get? Oh, copy of the PowerPoint. Yes, Jeff just addressed that. That's good. So yes, we'll make sure and get that. April 1st, let's see.
Hey, Doc, we had one good question in there, too, about is there an easy way to calculate the M&S, or is it to submit a quote request from Ed? The answer is yes to both of those. M&S is 20% of MSRP, and for years 1 and 2, that's consistent. There's an additional discount if you get multi-years up front, so 3, 4, and 5 will be at a rate of 15%, so that's pretty cool to help customers see the value in purchasing all 4 or 5 free, even year support up front. And Doc is going to show the quote form here shortly.
Yes.
So the question about, is it easy to see? Is there a way to quote? Absolutely.
Yes, I'm just kind of looking at this one question that was sent to me privately here. It's kind of talking about how you order. So we're really not changing so much how you order. I mean, if you're ordering, like if you're purchasing through your OEM, for instance, and you're buying it through them, you'll continue with that. A lot of IDC dealers are ordering directly from us, and that's the quote form that we're going to go through. So really the second half here is only going to be for folks that do order currently through ACDI. If you're ordering through your OEM, then you'll continue to do it that way. Hopefully that makes sense. When will the new quote site be available? Well, we're going towards that April 1st, and what I'm going to show you is a prototype, or still I might have a couple of broken links in here as we go forward, but that's okay. We want you to see this. It's really cool. Robert is doing just an incredible job on this tool behind the scenes, and I've seen what he's doing. I think he's probably about half blind getting this thing done, so we'll show this to you in just a moment. So I think we're in pretty good shape. Jeff, anything else? We can, of course, take more questions when we go into the quote tool. So let's go ahead and do that.
That sounds great. I'll fire back some answers here through the chat, Doc. So if you could take us through the quote form, that'd be awesome.
You got it. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll bring over my screen here. And so this is the quote form. Again, if you're working through an OEM, you're probably just going to order that way. If you're ordering directly from us, this is the change that you will see on the quote form. So here we are. This is what's going to happen. It's going to be really simplified for you. So obviously, get started. So you're going to go ahead and click that button there, and it's going to want some contact information. Well, if you're in a browser and you've filled out some forms, that's pretty easy. You can pretty much just go ahead and click through some of this stuff and get your contact information in the form. Let me go ahead and click next. Now we've got a choice. Are we needing a quote for new customers, or are we looking for existing customers? So I've got a choice here, and let's go ahead and run through the workflow for a new customer. So this is a new quote that you need. I'll go ahead and click the new customer option and click next. At this point, we're going to want to know about the organization. I'll just go ahead and fill it out as an ACDI order. This, of course, would be, who are we selling, your organization name, all that information there that we need. The website is not my email, but you'll probably want to put that in. So there we go, end user info. Now we're going to look at, what do you need? Do you need a commercial? And we've got a lot of stuff that pops up here. So hopefully you'll get some information about, if you don't know what it is, you haven't seen the webinar, obviously you're looking at it, but maybe somebody else is looking at this. The tool tips that are coming up are really nice. So professional and commercial are merged into one license. Education includes nonprofit, teaching, hospitals, and libraries. We're trying to make that very clear as you go through this. And then this is small to medium businesses, the SMB Bundle. Let me go ahead and take a commercial license, and I'll click. We'll go ahead and do that. What kind of license type do we need? Are we doing a multifunctional, or is it a user only? Chances are you're going to be including an MFD, so go ahead and select that and click next. Now at this point, this is where it's going to bring you into the device licenses. And we've got just one showing. Now, many of you, when you're putting in a deal, you might have multi-fleet going in. It might, obviously, if you're an OEM, it's going to be just yours. So that's why we just left it at one line. But if you are adding two different device lines, we'll add another one. So let's see what that looks like. I'll go ahead and click in the brand. We've got a drop down, so just go ahead and pick one of the brands here and what kind of quantity. So this is going to go in those buckets, the 1 2550 or 110 2550, etc., the devices. So this is going to get a break. If I had, let's say, 50 of these, I'd get that break for this particular brand only. If I've got another brand, I'll go ahead and click Add Another, and you'll see we've got another line that can come in, and we'll pick another brand, and we'll pop in another couple here. I think we've got this maxed out at 5 currently. We've kind of looked at a bunch of orders. I don't think we've ever seen more than 5 different devices on a particular order. So I think that's what the limit is set for on this at present. Of course, we can always expand if we need to. Single function, same thing, just on the right side. So, you've got an HP or Lexmark, Toshiba or Ricoh. You can go ahead and do a single function license, add those in quickly and easily. There we go. What components? Do you need some hardware? Do you need card readers, for instance? Go ahead and click the button. Are you adding job ticketing? Maybe a payment gateway? Add what you need. Just go ahead and select what you want, and then go ahead and click Next. Type of pay. So this is where, as I mentioned, we're really behind the scenes. It's 3 groups, but we do need to know which one that you're doing. So on our order form here at ACDI, if you're ordering through us directly, then you do actually pick the one that you want. And if it's a second one, then go ahead and click Add Another, and we do have the option for you to add a second gateway if that's the requirement for your customer. Let's go ahead and click Next. For hardware, what kind of hardware things are we going to add? As you can see, this is still being built, so we'll have like card readers and that type of thing available here for you to just select. Continue on through. I know the professional service isn't quite working at this point either, so we'll get that here. But here's your support options. So check this out, maintenance and support. And this is the plus, so we're going to help with installing, if they want to do a new version, we'll help with the installation there. Device goes down and needs to be reconfigured. That's what Maintenance and Support Plus gives you. We'll configure that device again, as opposed to regular M&S. So that's what M&S Plus provides. Here's the years, but also pay attention, we have months now as well. So you've got an odd contract. We could go ahead and make this be the same as what you're proposing for your customer. Very cool. I always had a problem with that because it was always 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that was it. Here's a professional services. You also install everything. That's checked. If you don't, you can uncheck and you can put in what it is that you need to have installed. Pretty basic stuff here. Just click what you need. Go ahead and click Next. And now we've got a summary of the quote that you need. So here's what it looks like. Our contact information, the new customer is what it's listed here. It'd be an existing if it is an existing. End user information. Here's all the stuff that I put in for the quote. If that is everything that I need, I will go ahead and click the agreement button and go ahead and place a quote request. How easy is that? And this thing, it should be very straightforward for you and should be able to complete a quote very, very quickly. Let's take a quick look at an existing customer. So go ahead and start the form again. Get my contact info in there. At this point, I'll say existing customer. Now, with an existing customer, as you know, we need either their number, it's called a CRN, or we need their license, which is just a little file. One way or the other, you either click this and upload the file, or you're going to click this and you're going to input the CRN that they currently have. We are hopefully going to get this to match back to the database pretty soon. Again, there are still some things that we're working on, but once we do that, then we should be able to know everything about your customer. So now we'll click Next. Again, who are you? What is the organization? Let's go ahead and put that in. And there's the name. So this is what it looks like for an existing customer. What do we need to do for them? Are we upgrading to unlimited? And look at the tooltip there. I mean, it's really, really well done. So all that information is right there. Is it renewal? Maybe they just need to add support. Maybe you need some pro service for something that they need done. Whatever the case may be, adding a license, add other components. Let's just add some support here. I'll click Next. What components are you looking for? Do I need any other add-on components? We can go ahead and add that as needed. Go ahead and click Next. Here's the support options. That's what I mentioned that I need. Again, years, months. What kind of time frame do we need for that? Go ahead and click Next. Here's what we're asking for. Do you want to install everything? Probably so, since you're asking for installation. We'll click Next. The quote overview. Here's the information that we put in. Existing customer. Their information will be here, et cetera, et cetera. Is this what you need? Click to agree. Place your quote. Make another call. Get to your next customer. Easy enough. Okay, so there's a view, a quick view of what it looks like with the ACDI quote form. Again, if you're supposed to order from us, do order from us. That's kind of a question that I did have in here. Somebody says, hey, they require us to get a quote from you. Will that remain the same? Yes, absolutely. If you're supposed to get it from us, then get it from us. If your OEM is wanting you to go through them, then go through them. It really just depends on the business model that they have for you. So do continue with that same business model. We're just showing you what it looks like if you are needing to order directly from us. All right, Jeff, how we doing? Any questions? Anything else happening on your end, sir?
Yeah, my fingers are bleeding from typing responses. This is awesome. I got a good one here from Barb asked, is there a new site survey available? And to my knowledge, in checking with Faith on our professional services team, she said there's not, because if they still have user count, if they still have site servers, although these are included, we still need to know those things. So I don't think it changes our site survey that much. The real change will just be on our quote form that Doc just went through. So good question.
Yeah, yes, excellent. Nothing else.
Let's see, I do have a question here, Doc, and maybe you can help me with, I'm not fully tracking. It says, is there an option to get M&S, non-plus or standard, for us, the dealer, to support and to be able to call you for support for us with that customer? I'm not sure I fully follow. If you could see, the question came through about 12:35.
Let's see. I wonder if they sent that to you directly then. It sounds like, well, there are two levels of M&S. And I did mention there's maintenance and support plus, and then there's the regular maintenance and support. Maintenance and support plus does give the ability for us, when your customer is down, and let's say you had a hard drive failure on the device. If they've got M&S plus, we will reinstall that device for them. If they don't, then we need to charge that. That would be just, that's not part of a regular M&S program. We will also help them with an upgrade, with an engineer on the line to help them with an upgrade of PaperCut with M&S Plus. That does not exist with the regular M&S platforms. So those are the reasonings behind them. You can pick whichever one is going to be best for your customer.
Awesome. Thanks, Doc. I got one more here.
Yeah.
Question about SFD, single function device definition. Is it merely a printer? What classifies as that? Since we used to be unlimited on printers, do we need to license every printer moving forward?
Great question. I asked that question when it was presented to me too. I was like, what? We're counting printers now? No. The license is for a single function printer that has a fast release. So some of the ones, I'll pick on HP here. HP's got a built-in reader and everything on a printer only. It's not a multifunctional. And you can get a license for it to be a fast release, so that, you just tap your badge against the printer and all of your jobs, not the print server, but just your jobs come out. There's no way to identify which one that you have. So those specific manufacturers have a built-in fast release on that printer. So that's what we're talking about. General tracking of printers, yep, track them all day long, as many as you want. No difference in what we're doing there. So absolutely, great question. I had one where it looked like there might, different levels of M&S. Okay, I think we did address that. M&S plus M&S. Yes, can you migrate a license from one manufacturer to another? Yes, that is one of the selections if it's an existing customer and you still have that same kind of, they get a little price break if they are already an existing customer and just switching brands. There is a price break. So yes, you can still do that, absolutely.
Doc, on the topic of pricing, the question is, does Pro Services increase for install with each site server, even though they are unlimited? Again, it's unlimited in the quantity of site servers that can be included, but I would say that you will see in our price book an increase in professional services to be more in line with our our competitors and the industry, and we haven't had an increase in years. So we did bring a few of our install charges in line with 2019. So, we can share that with you on an individual basis.
Exactly. All right. And, of course, if we're doing the installs, while site server, the license is included. If you need us to install, yes, we are going to charge per site server for the installation, if we're doing it. If you're doing it, I hope you're charging for that professional service so you can get that income as well. Either way is fine. All righty. Let's see, I think I've covered all the things that have come to me personally and the Q&A and publicly. And let's see, just had this. Any changes to integration to PC law or ESI law? Not really. I'm not sure about it. I don't think there's any pricing changes for PC law or ESI law. It's just the way that you'll order it. So you're just going to go to that integration and you're going to just, select it from that list there. So I'm not aware of any price increase or decrease on that. Let's see, Nathan. We'll reach out to you separately on that particular question there at home. Jeff, are you seeing that one as well?
Yeah, it's actually, on which M&S option would they choose when quoting? If they're doing the install and first line of support, but they've got issues, they'd like to be able to reach out if there's a difficult or technical question that they can't resolve. So, yeah, that's a great question. There are a couple of options. We've provided partners who would like to have this, quote, air support during the install, which escalates your request and gets you at the front of the line, so we know time is of the essence. So definitely like to reach out and talk with you about that option.
And actually getting a note from one of our RSMs that integration costs have dropped. So thanks, Martin. Didn't get all that stuff. So yes, I guess there has been a decrease in integration costs. That's one I didn't cover a little more in detail. So appreciate your feedback there.
Doc, you can't possibly know everything all the time.
I try, Jeff. I do try.
We're happy with what you got, for sure.
All right.
All right. The questions have, at this point, stopped rolling through, and so I don't have anything else to go public with here, Doc. So if something else comes in, I'll let you know. Otherwise, I'll just let you wrap up. Very good. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate your help today. We have another session coming up next week. I forgot the date offhand, but I'm sure you've gotten some notifications on that. So if you know anybody else that needs to be updated, and I don't know, we had this one update here on the educational user pricing for today that was different from the first webinar. So I don't know, you might want to take a look just in case anything else did change, but I think we're pretty solidified. I think what you'll see is a more of the user tool will be in process and pretty much ready to go. So we're excited about these changes. We're excited to have everybody join us today. If you do have specific questions about the pricing, please reach out to your RSS, your RSM, or whoever is handling the sales portion of it for you at ACDI, and we'll be glad to help. So until the next time, we'll see you soon. I'm Doc Balgi for ACDI. Thanks for joining.